When she returned, I saw a school cane for the first time, apart from pictures in comics, and I felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. I cannot remember the exact dimensions, but it did have a crook handle, just like the school canes in the comics. I did remember my cousins said it was very effective, and I was very relieved that I was about to find out for myself after years of fantasizing about it. I was expecting it to be painful, as that is the whole purpose of corporal punishment, and I wasn't going to enjoy the pain. I was going to enjoy the whole ritual of a school caning, of which experiencing the pain is part of that. Also, I was going to enjoy the satisfaction of submitting to a person in authority, and enduring the pain until it was over. She told me that she had always given my cousins 6 strokes, and she would give me the same. She told me to bend over the end of the kitchen table and remain in position until she told me that I could stand up. She proceeded to cane me, and it was probably over in less than 1 minute, but it really did sting, and I realized why it was so effective as a punishment. I did struggle to remain in position, but holding on to the sides of the table was a big help. I don't think I could have remained bent over if in the touching toes position. You remark on the mixture of excitement and nervousness you felt on first seeing a real school cane, which in your case would be heightened by knowing that it was shortly to be deployed on you. I remember the nervousness instilled by such a visual confrontation very well. Prefect's Court, 1955. Happily, unlike you, I didn't have to shed my nether overgarment, or even bend over to present the tightly stretched seat of the short trousers, as the wicked-looking cane on the court table wasn't deployed. I am now over 70 years old, and this happened well over 50 years ago, so some detail is a bit hazy, although I have done my best to recollect the event as accurately as possible. I cannot remember my exact thoughts when the first stroke was given, and I don't think anything was said during the caning. I think I was just concentrating on remaining in position until it was over, after which my auntie left the room, and I was alone with a very sore bottom. I composed myself and returned home, aware that there had been an awakening within me and my fantasy had been fulfilled at last. I also knew that I would want it again, particularly after looking in the mirror at some very impressive bruises. When I next saw my auntie, absolutely nothing was said about what had happened, and I continued to work for her. However, a few weeks later I started to feel that I wanted her to cane me again, and saw an opportunity to achieve this. There was another bottle of wine on the kitchen table, so I opened it and drank about half of it, expecting my auntie to cane me again as before. Perhaps I wondered if she would be stricter, or even harder. Anyway, that didn't happen, and when my auntie saw what I had done, she was absolutely furious, and said that the caning had obviously done me no good whatsoever, and I hadn't learned from it. She dismissed me immediately despite my request that I would prefer her to cane me, with a promise from me that if she did, then it would never happen again. I can only assume that she got no pleasure from using the cane, and was not aware that I craved it, so that answers the question no, my auntie never caned me again. As I said earlier, it had been an awakening for me, and I later met other people for what is now regarded as recreational canings. I have met some lovely people in my life, and got a lot of pleasure from my hobby.